Hey guys, we're back. This time we're in Japan. It's rather windy out. Let's jump in the cockpit. There we go. We are in Japan. As you may or may not know, Microsoft released the Japan update, the world update, where they did a lot of work in Japan. They also added in 6 new airports and refurbished some other ones. Added lots of buildings, terrain modifications, historical sites, all kinds of stuff. So what I figure we do is, since they added in 6 new airports, we do a 5-part series. We're going to fly from airport to airport. And we're going to go from south to north. So we're on a small island, way off the southern coast of Japan. And we're going to fly from here up to, well, I think it is the southern coast of Japan. It's still on another small island, but we're still not going to be quite up to the mainland. We're way down. We're pretty close to Taiwan, actually. Now, I'm going to butcher these names, but the island we're on is Miyako Island. And we are at the Shimojishima Airport. Anyway, we're going to do the flight. We're going to head from here. We're heading up to Kerama, which is another island, and we'll be landing up there. So it's about 140 miles. Most of it's over water, but there's 2 islands. We're going to be taking off from one, landing on another. So we'll circle around and take a look and see how they look. So let's get this thing up and going. Disclaimer, first time in the Baron. So we'll see how it does. So let's go down here first. We'll put the fuel selectors on to make sure we have fuel. So we're going to turn the masters on. The props are full forward. We're going to go mixture full forward. And we'll set the throttles to 1/4. We'll start the right engine first. That's it out there. And we'll see if we can get her going. So the master and mags are down here. So let's see if we can fire it up. She's up and running. And there's the right one. Let's see if we can get a view of it. No, we gotta hold it. And there we go. So we're gonna turn the alternators on, the avionics on. And I don't need a push. Like, go. I don't know why you're coming in here. Go away, please. Oh, you're going to come in anyway, aren't you? Okay, we're going to get rid of this map here. Off. We're going to use that, and we're going to go winds option 3, so we get the winds. 25 knot wind, no wonder it was so windy. It's not what it was showing before I came into the flight. No, we're going to leave the winds on. Okay, thank you. You go away now. Oh no. Parking brake. There we go. Alright, well, the engines warm up. So let's see what runway they're using here. I'm not flying VFR. I do not have an ATIS here. going to taxi to the east. And runway 35. Yeah, okay. The same runway we were going, which is going to be down that way, and we're kind of facing the way we're going to taxi out. So we're going to take off here. You can see on the map there's a couple islands. We're going to take off here. We'll circle around this way, and then we'll do a big S turn over the islands, and then we'll head out and we'll see how she looks. We're not going to get too high, I don't think. I don't know what that's doing, but let's go over here. We're going to set an altitude of, say, 4,000 feet, and that should be good to start with. And we will set our heading kind of to the east to start. So I think we're ready to go. So we'll put our beacon on, our nav lights on, and I think these are our landing and taxi lights down here. Yes, they are. 2 landing lights. Panel lights we'll throw on. Ice and strobe. Okay, we'll get to that when we get there. Oops. So we're going to tack. You know, you're right in the way, miss. Is there anyone beside us? No. We're going to taxi around, and we will be good to go. So, parking brake off. So I've only got a single throttle on my joystick, so I can't do individual engines like you would do for this. Gonna have to wheel it around. Oh, watch it, buddy. You almost got run over there. Alright, and that's the way we're going, down that way. It'll be interesting to see how much work they've done and how it looks with all the remodeling. And with this wind, it should be interesting over the water, because apparently they've done some work on the wave effects as well. So we'll go for 1 notch of flap. So the Baron is a twin engine airplane. It is I guess a normally aspirated engine, carbureted engine, 6-cylinder, 2 of them. So it can be used as a personal twin. It can be used for training. It is a fairly popular airplane, although definitely not a cheap one, not that any airplane really is. We'll go down to the end. The winds are pretty good. Turn the, come on, and down. There we go. Turn that fuel boost off, and it wants the pitot heat on. Pitot heat can go on, and a warning light will come off. There we go. She's wandering a little bit on the taxi. See the windsock. Why are you? Told me to go runway 35, and the winds are blowing the other way. this game sometimes, I tell you. Well, looks like the runway's up a bit of a hill. Anyway, so we're set there. We'll come down. We'll put the taxi lights off. Strobes can come on. Landing lights can come on. I think we're good to go. So let's get up here and we'll do a interesting takeoff. Got one notch of flap in. Get going. Full power. Need a lot of rudder on this thing. And we're up. Positive rate. Gears going up. And flaps are going up. Climbing out. The autopilot is on. We'll make our turn. And no. What are you doing? I'm not going down. Going up. Sorry, gears up. Start climbing. There we go. So come back a little bit on the throttle. And we'll come back on the props. There's the airport, and there's the other island. We're going to head further this way. There we go. Bring the pumps back to about 81. In there somewhere. Not sure proper cruise settings for this airplane. But let me go quickly look them up. .5 and 2450. So we'll come up to about there. And 2450. So they say that's the best settings. And there's the island. So we're gonna go down to about 1,000 feet. Power back a bit. We're going to check out the island. Turn the track IR off just so you got a little bit of a steadier view. So that airport we took off was one of the new ones they've added. There we go. Let's jump outside, take a look. So there's the island we took off, running with the airport over there. Sun's just rising. We're gonna come down and fly over the town here. You can see the work they've done. The water's looking good. You can see the white caps on the waves. There's the airport. There's the town. Come out here to the countryside. It's a fairly populated island. There's the airport here. It's rather interesting. Looks like there's a couple airliners there, so they do get some probably like A&A flying here. And there you have it. That is the little island we're at. So now we're going to head up and intercept our course. And then we will carry on to the next airport. Interesting building structure and placement. Looks pretty good. Very nice, very nicely done. So we're going to head out from here. We'll pick up our course and we'll head up to the next airport, which is 133 miles away. But when we get there, we're going to circle the islands again. So we'll see you when we're there. Alright, so we're 17 miles out from our destination, and I did some checking on the maps. So these little islands here are actually just off, I'm going to zoom out, the coast of Okinawa. And that's Okinawa there. So I guess they're part of the Okinawan island chain. Anyway, this is where we're headed. We're going to do a little bit of a flyover. Figure we'll come in and then circle around the islands, and then with the winds coming out of the northeast, they've got a runway that faces that way, and we'll circle back around and then come in and land. So we should be able to get a nice view of the islands here. It's been a pretty good flight, pretty windy. Nice wave action down there. Another island off our wing. White caps on the water. Winds are 26 knots right now, or 24 knots right now. 25, 24. So it is kind of windy out today. Especially when you get out into the open water. There's nothing to break up the wind, and it just carries. So let's do a little bit of a heading change. We'll head over this way so we can aim for this corner, and then we'll loop around the islands. So we'll switch over to heading mode. We'll stick at 1,000 feet. Seems to be working for us. Ideally, you would not cruise this airplane at 1,000 feet. I mean, you take her up into the double-digit thousands, 10, 15,000 feet. But we're here sightseeing, and we want to see what we can see, so that's the way it is. On our next one, you can just make out Okinawa over there. On our next, when we leave here and head north, we'll fly over Okinawa and get a view of it. Oops. But you can see the speed difference here. We're showing 180 knots roughly of airspeed, and yet our ground speed is showing 166. That's how much the wind is slowing us. Few islands out here. I'm assuming there'd be a lot of fishing vessels and stuff in the waters. Don't know how populated this place would be, these islands, but we do have an airport out here, so there's got to be something. It is let me pull up the numbers, 800 meters, so 2,600 feet. And I have no idea if it's paved or not. I'll see if we can get a view of it as we fly by. Assuming it's going to be over here somewhere. The water effect looks pretty cool. You get the foam hanging on the water after the white caps. Looks pretty realistic. Alright, let's head inwards. Cut across the edge of the island here. See if we can see anything. Yeah, it looks like the airport's right on top of that hill there. In fact, I think that's the runway right there. Alright, well, we know where we're headed anyway. Head up here, see what's on this island. Looks like a little village in the bay. Yeah, there's the airport. Interesting, the airport's there, but this community is over here. So there's something else on that hill over there. Well, there's a few little communities in the narrow bays on some of the islands. Pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. Very nice water effects. Here's your harbor. Little community. Some interesting places on the hilltops. We're hearing the sound bouncing off the mountains, I think. Well, there's a nice little place, some windy roads, and then nestled in the valley here. Interesting little town. Ah, it's pretty cool. Alright, we'll loop around the top of the island here. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. Well, I think they did a really good job of this. Terrain looks wonderful. The water effects look good. Look at that. I mean, we're definitely, you can tell we're down in the tropics here. The water, look at the blue watercolor coming up on the beaches. All the little houses there on the roads and on the hilltops. Another little community. Wind's bouncing across the mountains. Yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. All right. Start getting ourselves set up for our landing. So I'm going to start by heading that way. Alright, so mixture's full rich. Start slowing her down. Alrighty. Come around the mountain here, or the island. Landing lights are still on, which is fine. Love the shadowing, looks really good. All right. Head this way. Slowing her down. See the airport there? Let's notch one of the flaps. Props full forward. Gear down. Second notch of flaps. Keep the speed up. Not exactly sure of the landing speed of this airplane, but we'll keep the speed up for now. We can decrease as we come in. About 85, 86. Don't want to be going much slower than this. Remember, pitch control or power controls pitch, so to speed up our descent we do not push down, you reduce power. And we're on final. now we're just gonna fly her down to the runway. Pretty good wind blowing here. Basic rule is you pick your target on the runway and hold her steady in the windshield. If it's going down, you are too high. If it's going up, you're too low.
500.
Rough rule. Gears down, 3 green. Flaps are down full. A little bit of wind bounce. .3 wind. Ooh, sink. Don't sink. There's a gust there. Alright, let's get her down. Keep her on the runway, dude. Keep her on the runway. Whoa, she caught some air there at the coming in and it ballooned her like crazy. Oh, look, ground crew. Alright. Let's get in. Well, put the flaps up. Should not really be standing there, guy. I know where you want me to go, but you're in the way. Good enough. This thing doesn't like to turn on a spot with 2 engines roaring. But there we go, we are here. And that is engines off. We'll shut her down. Make sure everything's off. And there we are. We are in Kerama, as I mentioned, just off the coast of Okinawa. Let's see if it's I can pull it up here. This is a final reference. We flew from down here and we are, I think that's us right there. There we are. And there's Okinawa. So we're right off the coast. So that was 130 miles. That wind is blowing those control surfaces around. 130 something miles. Not bad for leg 1. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.